All right, we're back. A few more thoughts, part two, on sharing what we do with social media to share that content. So, one more thought on connection. We ended on this our last time. It's, again, that way to engage people without having to have them with you physically in a brick and mortar location. But if you do have people that are currently with you in a brick and mortar location, or if you have followers that obviously already are with you through the internet, it's a great way for you to interact directly with them. So to follow up, so say someone in your gym in class, they had a huge PR and maybe they're posting something on their social media. They're putting out their own personal content, right? This is a great way for you as the gym, as the entity, as the trainer to comment, to like, to share their successes. And so with their permission to showcase their posts. If they have transformations using kind of using your clients as content essentially, and also showcasing if you have a product, something that you're wanting to sell, wanting other people to use, showcase these people wearing or using your product. Encourage them to mention maybe your gym in their own posts, to check in if it's on Facebook, to use specific hashtags. It's another way to kind of indirectly grow your following through all these people that already follow you. And especially, again, if you have these personal relationships beyond just social media or the internet, it's that great way to just re-engage your current followers that you already have. A few more things to consider, and then this idea of engagement, connection, and community. So in addition to putting out content, so on our streams, our stories, our little squares, our snaps, also putting out what we call calls to action or just general engagement. And so this could be, we put out a little tidbit, a little snippet of information, and you can say, go to the link in the bio to access the rest of this information. Or if you want additional free content, free programming, here's how to access it, and you direct them where to go. You can direct them how to get involved. So say maybe you're doing a fundraiser and you're showcasing an organization, here's how to learn more about this organization. So a lot of times maybe directing them to someone else's account, maybe the Instagram account for the organization you're working with and fundraising with. Also the idea of sharing and subscribing. So we see that more so the podcast world in YouTube. We do have that with Facebook, with the Facebook Live, how that's evolved over time. And so making sure that in our posting the content we share, we encourage people to, if they like it, to share it and to subscribe, because then that means that this content will show up more frequently. Or again, in the context of YouTube and podcasts, Facebook Live, they'll get a notification once you have something new that goes up. And then you can also, again, a great way to capture leads. So this just means contact information. And so maybe it is a link for them if they're interested in working with you. Send me a direct message, or through the link in the bio, or links that you're able to include in the bio. If you include something like Linktree, where you can put multiple links, ways that they can connect, and they can submit their name, their email, and that's how they can stay in the email loop for a newsletter or for weekly video updates or whatever it might be. And then things like contests. Maybe you do a giveaway, and in order to be entered in the giveaway, you have to follow them, you have to hashtag something, tag a friend. Again, that grows this little brand that you have, or the brand that you have beyond just who you're already reaching initially. It then goes to the followers of those people. So that's why this idea of mentioning others, and then maybe getting someone who's equally as big as you or even bigger than you to share your information and to share your content is really big in the social media world. So again, we're back to this idea. Okay, what do I do? What's my verb? What if you get nervous? These are all great ideas, but what if I don't have anything to offer? And again, and it's this idea still, start small. What are you doing already? Do you have some tips that you use yourself? Are you training a friend? So simple. Before and after photos are great. Stories. Maybe you do a 4-part story on someone you're working with, and there's a different post for each part of the story. Motivation. There's a ton of motivation. Everybody says, I'm going to have my account be a motivational account. There's a lot of memes up there that are motivating, a lot of quotes. that are up there and motivating. We're getting a maybe oversaturated sometimes with just motivation, with videos and whatever. So you have to consider what makes yours special, what makes it relevant, unique. How does it engage back with that person? So it's not just another quote or another meme that's up on the internet. This says this idea again, don't reinvent the wheel. What are you already doing? Maybe you don't even realize you're doing it. You're just doing it to yourself. You're doing it with yourself, with your friends. Start to document it. Maybe document your own journey. Bring a friend along for the ride. And then down at the bottom, look at what other people are doing. So we're on social media anyways. We're on Facebook. We're listening to podcasts. We're watching YouTube videos. What are other people doing with their videos? What are they doing with their stories and their posts? So that brings us to starting to look at other social media accounts in a more critical eye. It's this idea again of one foot in our personal life, one foot in the professional world. So even though I'm liking, my favorite athlete or a brand that I love to follow, I'm also looking as someone who also engages in content marketing in the social media world. Oh, I like this product, but I also like how they set up the photo. I like how they produced it. I like how they used the words that they put in the body of the post to complement the picture. Or I liked how they used the story to complement an actual post. So something that I encourage you all to do, and we will do this, is look at what do we think are good qualities of other social media accounts. And so here's a few general ideas built from what we started coming up with in class. But back to this idea of connection, relationship. We want to let people in. We want them to feel that they know us. They're a part of our mission, this essence that we have. We want them to feel like they're with us. We want it, again, to be relevant. It's got to be useful stuff. Educated. This is where, back to this idea, if you're putting out information, you want it to be accurate, especially if you're representing a company, a product, representing yourself, representing Eastern Michigan University, where you went to school, your degree, whatever certification you have. And so that might be a good reason to maybe double check what you're sharing. Have a partner, have someone, a business partner, have someone else look at, hey, is this spelled right? Is this an accurate fact? Can I back it up? Where is your source? Because again, we know there's a ton of information on the internet that is not accurate. And educated, again, I mentioned proofread. There is a ton of stuff online that does not have good grammar. It's not punctuated properly. And I know the rules are a little soft, more so than writing a research paper and essay for when we're posting online and on social media. We get to use just a ton of awesome slang and whatever's trendy. But again, especially if you're representing something that takes education to get there, like a strength and conditioning coach, people know you need a degree, they know you need a certification. We want them to continue to value that position and the certification, the education it takes to get that. So make sure you are contributing positively to that type of message. Meaningful. So we want it, again, to something that people value, makes them think. Timing is important. So social media moves pretty quickly. Things erase after 24 hours. So you can't just post once a week and expect to get a big following. So you have to be frequent and also paying attention to when people are on social media, when they're liking stuff, when they're watching things. When you have a business account, so say on Facebook or a business Instagram account, it doesn't cost money, you just have a different variation of an account, you're able to get some analytics back that are going to give you information of where are people at who are liking your stuff, where geographically, what time of day or peak times where people are liking your information. Sometimes would even break down by gender. So consistently time, that means frequency has to be checked and really look into when is a good time. When are people seeing it? If you're posting everything at 2 in the morning, people are going to be missing it and it's going to get lost in the shuffle. We want to make sure that you are present, that you are in the present day, you are with it, okay? Back to this idea, a little bit of relevancy, but you want to make sure people know that you are up with whatever is current. They expect that on social media. A good account supports other accounts too. So you're following others, you're liking, you're engaging, you're commenting, you're showcasing, you're sharing some of the things that they do, maybe even highlighting them in your own post. So your own followers in as well as other social media accounts. And then if you're at a fan status, superstar status, maybe even showcasing some of your fans. I mentioned some giveaways, doing some trials, having people comment and tag somebody else, share, mention, and follow are great strategies people use. And the big thing is just the account evolves as the platform evolves. And so you start to use story once it exists. And then just working with search tools. So using hashtags, ones that make sense, that if someone clicks on it, they will see your post. Or making sure that if you want to associate with a movement that has a specific hashtag, make sure you know what hashtag that they're using, what they're used to using, what do other users that like similar types of accounts, what types of hashtags are they using? Learn from other people. Then, again, this idea of going from the user, the participator, into the one who's driving the action, who's doing it. So going from just consumption to critique. It comes to this idea of doing an evaluation or an audit on social media. And what it is, it's just looking at accounts from a critical perspective. You can get ideas from what other people post. You can see what is good, what doesn't look good, what looks sloppy, what doesn't get a lot of comments or interaction, and what does. And then if you already have a professional account, say you are working for a gym and you're helping to manage their social media, or you want to help them increase your social media, maybe add value as your role as a coach, this is something that you can work with whoever is the owner or whoever is in charge of social media, maybe it's you, to do some periodic reviews of your own stuff that you're putting out. It helps you to make sure you're staying on brand and that you're sticking to what your essence actually is. So for our assignment, we are going to be doing a social media audit. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into what you're going to be doing. So we've got our little template right here. This is up for you on Canvas. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see. So this is what we have. You will need to select 3 social media accounts to audit for this assignment. 3 different types. One needs to be something with a large following. So a corporation, a big brand, a big entity, famous person, celebrity. Again, not that famous, but it has to be at least over 100,000 followers. The second one you need to follow or to use for your audit is something that is not directly selling something. So maybe something that's just for the sake of educating people, a nonprofit, putting out information. And then the third one is something small scale. So a person, an entity, they can be selling something but less than 3,000 followers. And then you're going to choose. So many individuals or many organizations will have multiple platforms for social media. It's up to you. You can pick if you want to stick all with Instagram because your later assignment will be related to Instagram during our takeover, that's fine. If you are choosing Snapchat, if you're a Snapchatter, just make sure that it's somebody who frequently posts stories. So I would say at least 10 in a 24-hour period so that you get a pretty good view of what they're actually putting out there. If it's just one, it doesn't give you a ton. And then for each of these entities, you're going to be looking back at the last month of their posts or content, or their last 20 posts, whichever makes more sense or comes sooner. So if they're posting 5 times a day, that's a lot of posts. So just look at the last 20. And then number 2 is the big one. You're going to have to come up with a classification system. Each post you're going to put into a little category that you make up. You decide what the category is going to be. So maybe if it's a picture with a quote on it to be inspirational, inspiration is a new category. If another is a video showcasing a modification, a way to do a certain movement, maybe you put that in a category called education. If they're showcasing a product, maybe it is sales. If it is a member testimonial, testimonial is your category. And so you're going to try and come up with multiple categories and they'll turn into themes. What are the themes that the brand and the social media account are trying to share? And next is check out how often do they seem to be posting? Is it daily? Is it 3 daily? It's hard to tell sometimes time of day with Instagram. So Facebook, it's pretty easy to see if they're always consistently posting, maybe at 9 a.m. You're going to look at strengths and weaknesses. What seems to be going well, what doesn't look so great to you, and then check another platform. So if you are doing your audit on an account for their Instagram, check over to their Facebook. Is it the same stuff? Is it different? Are they trying to target a different type of audience, showcase a different part of their brand or their essence through that other platform, or is it exactly the same? And then 7